Hello, everybody. I'm Bob Walker, Director of External Communications for Makeafolio, and today I have Spencer Howell, the CEO of Makeafolio here. Welcome. How are you doing today, Spencer?
Doing great. It's been a fun ride so far, and I'm happy to be here.
Well, 9 days to ICO. That's got to be, pretty exciting for you.
Exciting isn't the word. There's so many mixed feelings. It's fun and it's terrifying at the same time. But it makes for a good story. I think this is something that can really look back on now and kind of just continue to grow and continue to prosper. And we only have a couple more days left, and we're just going to continue to push to the finish line.
Well, this literally started right around. I know you've been working on the project for months.
Yeah.
But it really started ramping up at the beginning of June, at the very beginning. And since then, I know we've got over 200,000 Telegram subscribers.
Yeah.
Oh, well, right at 900 KYC participation right now, right?
Yeah, at the time of speaking, we just hit almost 900. It just seems like it's nonstop at this point. Things are just moving extremely fast, and it seems like people are starting to kind of catch wind of Makeafolio. So.
All right. Well, I know recently there was a new video that we're going to show in this presentation. So I'm going to let you take that over and run the video. How about that?
All right, good deal. Well, this is pretty much just our explainer video. This is going to kind of hit on the different topics that we look to provide with our services within Makeafolio. Take a look at it, and I hope you guys enjoy it.
Are you confused by cryptocurrencies? It can be very intimidating when you don't know where to start. Well, welcome to the future of blockchain technology. The Makeafolio all-in-one cryptocurrency management platform will allow you to learn crypto trading tactics safely. With one-click diversification, Makeafolio's all-in-one platform will allow you to compete, track, manage, and mimic other successful portfolios using the leaderboard to get the best results possible.
I know the video covered a lot of topics, but I've watched the video, and there is so much more to Makeafolio than I think is covered in the explainer video that we felt the need to do this video. So I wanted to hear from your words, and I'm sure everybody else wants to too. What is Makeafolio?
Well, Makeafolio at heart is trying to change the way we perceive cryptocurrency. We're kind of going through the growing pains right now of just people being unsure of the scenery. This is something that we want to say that we're looking for mainstream, but we're not matching that at the same time. So with Makeafolio, this is looking to kind of come in and fill that void to where you can get that random individual that has no history within finance or have ever looked at any type of charts or anything like that to be able to kind of get into a program or a platform to where they can have all the tools disposable at them or to them in one individual place. So we have tons of different platforms of things that people can utilize and use in the long run. And this is more or less of just trying to let people get their hands dirty,
Right.
And make it social,
Well, I know when I got into crypto, I spent hours and hours and hours watching YouTube videos. And it was even simple stuff on how do I buy crypto? Where do I get a wallet? What's the best wallet? What's the best exchange? Where to go? How to do it? And it was just endless. And for the most part, in my experience, I found that is pretty much
common.
Yeah, common. Everybody does that, right? So I think either people say, okay, I'm willing to do it, risk reward type thing and do the studying and all of that and get in, or they right away say, yeah, that's too much, too hard. So
it's one of those things where if you don't understand it, it's just intimidating. There's so many different aspects to the cryptocurrency, not only with just the tokens, but with the technology and with the different type of languages we speak within cryptocurrency. The things that people speak about aren't your typical everyday conversations. So if you get that random person that has never heard anything about it and you start explaining blockchain technology or about a cryptocurrency wallet, it doesn't make sense because it's not something that we deal with on an everyday basis. So with this, we're able to actually kind of bring that to the front lines and make it to where it's extremely simple for the random individual to just get on there and learn. That's the only way that we're going to be able to get to mass adoption is if people completely understand what this technology is about and what it's capable of.
Right. And, one of the confusing things when I started, and, is all the acronyms.
Yeah.
FUD, FOMO, KYC, AML,
Auto.
yeah, it's bear market, bull market, what
Foreign
in
language.
the world? It is. And just imagine if you speak a foreign language and you're trying to, oh my goodness, right? So, while we're talking about acronyms, one of the big questions that I've seen in our Telegram channels is KYC and AML.
Right.
Why do we, and KYC is know your customer and AML is anti-money laundering.
Right.
So, in your words, why is that so important for Makeafolio?
Well, it kind of goes back to touch on the fact that we are so early within this space. We're kind of unsure of the way that things may kind of evolve over time. So if we're going to look at this in an aspect of we want to continue to have some type of longevity within the space, then we need to make sure that everything we are doing is within regulation and compliance. Whether that's not only protecting us for the longevity of our company, but also protecting the user, knowing that they are of legal age. They are sound-minded individuals. They're not into any types of crimes or terrorist organizations. These things become very important when you're actually dealing with finance. So for us to be able to continue to move forward, do things such as opening a bank account when we finish our ICO, we have to account for the funds that we're actually raising. So this is a requirement on our end to make sure that we are within compliance of all laws.
So it's a matter of being proactive rather than reactive.
Right. It's a lot better to kind of be on the offensive and kind of predict the things that may happen in the future rather than trying to deal with them at a later time and you just get sideswiped by it. And that's with any part of life. You just want to make sure that you're making the sound decisions moving forward so that you can do things to the best of your ability. And at the end of the day, we all have to follow different laws and regulations, and this is just one of those things that we have to deal with as a cryptocurrency company.
Right. All right. So obviously, we've already stated we've got over 200,000 Telegram subscribers, and people are going to right away say, "Well, you can only have 100,000." Yes, but we've got 100,000 in two channels, and we've also got a third channel that's got several hundred in it, probably close to 500 right now, right?
Well, it's almost about to hit 1,000, actually.
About to hit 1,000. So it is really growing. So with that being said, what is it? I mean, I've noticed a little bit of different stance coming from you about how to treat community with Makeafolio as compared to maybe some other companies that we've seen ICOs and how they deal with people.
Right.
What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I look at it like at the end of the day, we're all human. We're looking into this space to not only be successful individuals, but we're a different type of person here. Cryptocurrency to me is special simply because it brings a community aspect. We're not looking towards the government kind of just handling everything all the time. So this makes one of those things to where it resonates with the average person that can reach out to someone and has some type of knowledge within crypto, and you kind of build a better relationship, you know. And I mean, within my time of being in cryptocurrency, I met so many great individuals from all walks of life, from all edges of the planet. You know, so for me, it's more or less one of those things to where we want to be overly active within the community. You know, we want to be able to go out and do different things and interact with these individuals that believe in our dream here. You know, so it's more or less of us simply building a good line of communication. You know, we want to go above and beyond and be able to be transparent about any type of issue that may arise, whether it's good or bad. You know, we're all human. We all make mistakes at the end of the day, and for someone to actually come out and support us, that means a lot to us. So we owe them everything that we have at the end of the day. You know, so this is, like I said, is just us staying intertwined within the.
Okay. Well, you know, Makeafolio, obviously, portfolio is part of the name. It's merged in, right? So, obviously, we want to hear from you, right? So, what I want to know is, there's basically, obviously, there's all knowledge levels of crypto, right? There's novices, all the way up to veterans, and you know, I guess you could say experts, even, right? So, give us a brief synopsis of why you think this is beneficial to both novices and veterans.
Well, I think it goes back to saying that, you know, we have to pretty much supply different things for different individuals. You know, we kind of have to cater to each individual crowd differently and kind of speak the languages within each individual person. You know, we may have one person that has never created a wallet before versus someone that has a server room full of Bitcoin miners. You know, so we have to be able to kind of pass this knowledge between one another to where we can bring everybody on a level playing field, right? So this kind of plays into the fact that cryptocurrency needs to be social. You know, people can only react to the information if they have the information available to them. Whether that come from someone sharing a mentorship program that they're participating on within Makeafolio Social, which is kind of the social network of Makeafolio, or someone is sharing their achievement points from after they have made a completely diverse portfolio using a diversification tool. You know, with this tool, you're able to actually convert, say, one Bitcoin into 10 other different types of tokens or coins, what may have. You know, so it's more or less of just trying to find different services that each person can kind of appreciate and understand at the same time. So I think a lot of it will play into our mentorship program and some of the courses that we're able to offer, alongside with individuals being able to actually offer courses themselves and kind of get a return by our token from that, which it's kind of a never-ending cycle. You know, people will come in, people will post content, you know, and people will kind of regurgitate that content at the same time between different individuals, which kind of makes it nice, you know.
Well, you know, what really excites me about it is, I know for me, it's a never-ending cycle, right? So, you buy first, everybody comes in, it's like, we buy Bitcoin, right? Then from Bitcoin, it's like, oh, well, now I've got this Bitcoin, what else do I want to buy? And, you know, you start dividing it up, and then it's like, oh, wait a minute, but I can mine and I can get coins for free. Okay, well, how do I do that? Okay, so I've got that
knowledge.
Right, and then you find out, wait a minute, I can buy coins and I can hold them, and I can get more coins for holding them by staking them, and then, you know, or I can possibly run a master node and generate coins that way as well. So it's just constantly, every time I learn something new, it's like something new comes out that I have to learn. So, I mean, that really excites me about the way Makeafolio is trying for, you know, let's face it, to achieve mass adoption, which is one of the, you know, I think it's thrown around quite a bit on a lot of coins. Oh, we're going for mass adoption. Awesome. But how are you going to do that? The first way you're going to achieve mass adoption is by teaching people how to get into the space to begin with.
Right. It's kind of one of those elephants in the room. We all talk about mass adoption, but we're not really kind of building the building blocks to get there. We can sit here and talk about it all day, which is perfectly fine. We all want the same thing at the end of the day, but if we don't look to the future and try to implement these different practices to where people can understand, it will never happen. You can't expect someone to use a debit card, for instance, if they've never seen a piece of plastic.
Right.
It only makes sense for these people to be able to get this information, and once they have the information, then they can apply it. If there's never someone that can kind of step in and tell you, just like when you're young, if you're doing something bad and nobody corrects you, you're going to continue to make those bad decisions and have those bad habits.
Right.
And that kind of applies to cryptocurrency as well, because if you don't have this information, you're destined for failure. You have to understand the way that these markets work, the way that different news may affect different things. And that only comes with knowledge, so you have to share it between one another.
Well, one of the big things that I get from people when I'm the crazy cryptocurrency guy, so when people ask me questions about, well, I've got my paycheck every week, I'm like, no, you've got a cryptocurrency there, buddy. And they're like, well, what do you mean? I said, well, let's see. Do you get direct deposit? Yep. Oh, so you mean they don't give you a check in your hand and you don't go to the bank and cash that check and they give you cash back? Right. No. I said, so what do you, when you go to the grocery store, do you use your debit card or do you pay them cash? Oh, I use my debit card. Oh, so it's all electronically done, right?
Right.
So it's the same thing. So it's just getting people to understand that and how to get into it. So
you have to connect the dots there, If you don't ever connect those dots and understand it and see it for what it actually is, you'll be oblivious to it. It's all around us. I mean, technology is completely changing the world, and we're getting to a point to where we really have to sit back and kind of see it from a whole. We're kind of doing things now that we could only dream about 10 years ago, so this is more or less of just another step towards the future. If we want to be great as a generation and kind of push the envelope, then we need to raise the awareness as well.
Right.
This simply goes into that conversation even more.
Well, I've covered everything on my list. Did you have anything else you wanted to really discuss right now?
Well, I think I kind of want to go back to the community. It's one of those things that, like everybody that has ever came into contact with, I continue to harp on the community and treating people right and kind of giving everybody a chance, and none, like I say, we're not perfect human beings, and I'm not saying this to knock anyone or do anything of that sort. We simply need to get better as a generation and kind of just continue to work with one another. So if we can actually give people chances and kind of put out these courses and let them learn and kind of slowly hold their hand and walk them down, I think we could really see great things begin to happen and more people will be comfortable talking about cryptocurrency. We can sit in our little cubby holes all day long and have our great friends or a great group of friends that understand crypto, but outside it's a completely different world. We kind of get lost in it because we're involved in it every day. We just need to continue to speak to people, go out and welcome people within the cryptocurrency community and just make this what it should be at the end of the day. We're still extremely early within this space and we have a ton more to go and a lot more growth that we can achieve. We just have to get out there and do it,
Okay, well, Spencer, I'm looking at the timer here. It says we've got 9 days, 1 hour, 47 minutes, and 38 seconds. So guys, go get your KYC done. Go to Makeafolio.com and, check it out. And on behalf of Spencer Howell, CEO of Makeafolio, and I'm Bob Walker, Director of External Communications, we thank you for watching and be looking out for great things. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.